Here with Mike Giles, the athletic director, head football coach for the Needville Blue Jays. How are you doing this morning, Coach?
Man, I'm doing really well, actually. Just going through some meetings this morning with our defensive staff today. So, but overall, we're doing well. You know, we've kind of adjusted and set into a routine and trying to be productive during when everybody's at home. So, pretty good.
So how's your family? How's your wife and kids holding up with you around a lot more?
You know, family's doing well. You know, for my kids, it's, you know, we're trying to stay on somewhat of a routine, you know, whether it be, you know, they've obviously got their homework that they've got to be doing, working out, you know, daily. We've got our garage converted to a weight room. We've got different things going on. We've got, you know, basketball. We're just trying to stay busy and do some things. And, you know, we play a lot of games in the evening, you know, card games and board games and stuff to just have time together. And we spend some time going to, you know, when we can, down to the beach. It's not too far. So it's been well. It's been going well. It's been a positive experience overall, to be honest with you. I do know this. Our kids really appreciate school more so than they ever have before, because they really miss it. You know, they miss being around their friends and the sports aspect of it, you know, in addition to the actual classroom work. So, but overall, it's good. It's going really well.
So let's talk a little bit about what you've been able to manage to do to keep contact with your staff, with your athletes there, keep everything moving forward as best you can.
Sure. Well, you know, when this initially hit, we started right away, you know, with Zoom meetings as a staff. You know, we broke it up defensively and offensively. Twice a week we would have staff meetings, and then we still do. We meet with our kids 2 days a week defensively and 2 days a week offensively, and then we have a team call on Fridays where we still do our 2 words character development. Talk to our kids. We do a little competition in there on our Friday call. We've since moved from the Zoom meetings as a staff. We are meeting in person. We've got our numbers down. We rotate by day, so we don't have too many guys in here at a time, and we keep our distance and we get more done. You know, offensively, defensively, just breaking down. Spend a lot of time breaking down our last year's game film, and we can move at a slower pace. You know, but we've really stayed engaged with our kids throughout. Not just through our Zoom calls, through our position meetings, through our Friday call. You know, we reach out and call them individually. We've got letters that, you know, we send out to our athletes, you know, our senior kids, and then as well as our returning athletes, you know, just so that they know we're thinking about them. And that's the toughest thing, you know. All of a sudden this just came to a grinding halt. And so, you know, we call them position meetings, and they are, because it allows us to break them down into subgroups and just kind of manage it better and get a little more one-on-one in our conversations with them. But it's not all about football. You know, typically one of those calls will mostly just be around kind of what they've been doing, what's going on, how they're doing. And then we'll talk some football. And a lot of those guys play other sports too. And, you know, all of our guy coaches coach football as well as their other sports. So, you know, it is football. We call it position meetings because it's just a better way for us to track it, like I said. But, you know, we're getting all other sports involved as well. So overall, it's going really well. And of course, we send out our workouts. You know, we've got our weekly and daily workouts that go out to the kids. We've got an at home. They don't have access to weights, and then we've got one that if they do have access to weights. And so, you know, we really, really stay on top of that. And there went my lights. We're on a timer at work. I don't know if that helps any. Let me move my computer. That helps. Is that any better?
Yeah, we can see you now.
Yeah, it's our lights at the office they're on a 2-hour timer, so they go off, so we conserve our electricity. But overall, man, it's you know, it's like we tell our kids, you know, we got to do this better, and we got to do it longer than anybody, you know, our competition. So that's kind of our push and our goal, and our kids are doing well with it, responding really well.
If you don't mind, talk a little bit about the impact of athletics there in Needville being a small town, and the impact of this loss of the spring impact not only on the kids but on the community as a whole.
Yeah, Needville is a really, really great place to be, and our community supports all of our programs, regardless of the sport, and not just our athletic programs, but our fine arts and our bands and choirs and everything that's done. I mean, the turnouts is just incredible. So the support from the community is really, really good. And I know we've had, like everybody has, we've had kids that have been impacted through the spring, not being able to participate and compete and play. And it's hurt them, especially those seniors, and sometimes I think it might hurt the parents more, because that's their child, and, they're going to move on, and kids are resilient. They overcome a lot quicker than we do as adults, overall. But yeah, it's impacted our community because, so many people, that's what they are accustomed to doing, a couple times a week when we're competing. And so they've lost that aspect, but it's a tough place, and we'll bounce back and be ready to go.
Now let's talk a little bit about football, because we're going to have football in the fall. We're going to get to strength and conditioning here soon. We're going to be able to practice in the 1st of August and play late August, and we're going to play all fall long.
That's right.
I'm not hearing otherwise.
That's right.
So what are the Blue Jays going to look like this fall?
Well, we're I'll be honest right now, we're preparing, like you said, to begin in August as we would. We've got a couple different summer scenarios that we've planned out, and we're just waiting for the green light to get those kids and get rolling. I think that we're anticipating some changes maybe in the numbers and some of the protocols that we've got to follow. So we're trying to get ahead of that curve, and then, and get our kids in shape. I mean, because they can be working out at home, we can send them to workouts, but at the end of the day, it's not the same. So it's going to take us some time to get them back in shape and get them back to, get them ready for a game. And so, again, it goes back to, can we do this better and longer than our competition, and give ourselves an advantage as we get into the fall. And by doing that, we'll be ready to roll for that first week and against St. Thomas, and we'll see. As far as the overall team, we've got a lot of guys back. We lost Ashton, our running back, who's a very special, football player. And we lost some other guys. We had some, two really good senior offensive linemen that are graduating, and some guys on defense. But we've got a good core coming back. So, do we replace a guy like Ashton? No, we don't replace him, but we've got some guys that can fill in and do some things. So, we expect to be competitive and get after people. We don't, we graduate some guys, and that's okay. They're going to move on and do better things, but we're going to get the guys here we've got ready to go. And our goal is to be peaking as we get into district play and start rolling at that point. So we'll figure some things out in the non-district. We still have to nail down some spots, but that's why we play them and coach them, and then we'll roll from there.
Obviously, Ashton was one of the leaders on your team. So who do you expect will step up and take the leadership role on the team this year?
I think there's several guys, in that this junior class that'll be seniors. Our quarterback, Trevor Baker, he had a good year, had a really good year stepping in and filling in for Kenny, who graduated and went on. Walker, Warnicky, Blake Banish, those guys on defense. Dax Bridges, we've got some juniors that have had a lot of success, throughout junior high and into high school. So they expect to win. They expect the program to continue to advance, and they expect the guys, younger than them to come on and produce and be a part of that. And they don't just talk stuff, about it. You watch those guys practice. They show it every day in practice. It's just a group of kids that loves football and really truly doesn't, can't live without it. And those are the kind of guys that you're looking for. So we expect really good things out of this group.
All right. Well, Coach, thanks for your time today, and definitely hope we get to see the Blue Jays in the fall.
Absolutely. Thank you. Appreciate what you guys are doing. Every time you guys I usually get to see you at our state qualifier at the 707 tournament, state tournament, or something like that. But unfortunately, we don't get to play. But I appreciate you having me on and all you guys are doing for high school football and athletics.
Thank you, Coach. And again, see you this fall.
Okay, thanks.